Alrighty, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup. Hope everybody's having a great trading session. You know, I've got my eyes on some of these cross rates here, and let me just point out the reason why. You know, as you guys know, equity markets have bounced, and I would say it's as expected. The one thing that I have to say is the move higher in I mean, the Dow's up like 600 points right now. I mean, it's up 670 points right now. I mean, but look, we hit the 618, we hit resistance. So the Dow's hitting resistance. The S&P, you know, up pretty substantially. I mean, we're up to over 2%, you know, coming up in what I would consider as resistance around the 3,900. And so it's not unexpected. It's just we got here a lot quicker than I thought we were going to. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to point that out is because if they do, you know, get up towards these resistance levels and we start to see some rejections, then I think the currencies that are going to turn will be some of these cross rates. So like if you take the Euro Aussie, you know, the Euro Aussie is back at a 50% retracement of its move from, you know, Thursday, Friday. Euro New Zealand barely has pulled back. I mean, you could actually argue that the Euro New Zealand actually looks like a, you know, like a flag pattern here. Take the low to the high. We got, you know, about what is that? About a 50%, not even a 50% retracement. So very shallow. Pound Aussie, obviously we've pulled back pretty good, you know. That's been a little all over the place. The Pound New Zealand, you know, we could be developing an inverted head and shoulder pattern here. You guys know how I don't like inverted head and shoulder patterns when you're trending higher, but you could also argue that this is maybe at the, you know, bottom of a downtrend. So this could be developing something that looks like, you know, maybe a little bit deeper there, something that looks like this. So we could, I didn't mean to move that. We could be developing an inverted head and shoulder pattern there. So I want you to pay attention to these, because if we do have a sell-off in the stock market going into this afternoon, remember we had such big moves at the end of the week. That may have happened. You know, Steph asked a question in the chat room. She said, I've tried to, here, I'll show you her question. Her question was, I've tried to add copper ticker to my trading view, but it says it doesn't exist. Is there a ticker I should be using, or does my middle level annual for trading view not include that? No, you should be able to do it. But if you type in, like, do the symbol search, right? Put in copper, you may have this selected, or maybe you have this selected, you know, and you're not finding it, or a CFD, right? So pull up all, and then from here, you know, you could, like for me, I'd probably just use the CFD. It's called copper, right? That's the one that I have on my screen, and there you go. You know, you just, oh, actually, this isn't the one that I have, but you can have the that. So you can just type in whatever you want. But what happened probably when you were typing this in is you probably selected something, one of these tabs, and then it automatically defaults back to that tab. So you just got to click all. Try that and see if that works, Steph. All right. You know, speaking of which, I know I noticed a couple of you guys and gals were trading gold in the chat room. So I figure I'd give you a view on gold. I think you guys probably heard me say this before, but I am bearish gold. Okay. One of the things about gold is it's below 1760. This, remember, this is a double bottom, huge breakdown point. This is a, here, let me grab that. That's not what I wanted. Okay, right there. See that? Okay. It was a breakout point right there. That's where, you know, kind of took off, where gold actually took off to squeeze towards, you know, 2000. And so naturally on that way down, it's going to be a big support, which we did. we found a spike low down there in November. We rallied, and you could argue we broke through it this last week. And today we rallied back and we hit it and then reversed. So I'm going to say again, while we're below 1760, I think you got to be really, really careful with gold, at least today. I mean, I'm personally in the camp that if gold, trades below 17 or 1600 right here, this is probably going to be a good place to be on the long side, somewhere down here. But, looking at the fact that gold didn't rally in this last move higher, and we've been just trading heavy and broke down, I think a move to 1692 to 1650 seems pretty logical based on price action. Then if you add some dollar strength to that mix, you're probably going to see some dollar weakness. Okay. Let's see, anything else that I wanted to cover. So the Aussies had a nice little bounce back. I still think we're flagging. You can see how we're just kind of flagging here. So if I had to guess about Aussie the next 24 hours, it's going to look something like this. If I had to guess, we might come back down to 77.50, back up towards the 38% retracement, or 77.80 to 80 to 70 78.15. I'm sorry, to maybe 78.25, and then roll over from there. I think that's what we're dealing with copper. And you look at not copper, with the Aussie. And if you look at copper, how weak copper is right now, that is going to weigh on the Aussie dollar, if that's really the case. Okay. And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. I think anything else going on? US dollar, Norwegian krona is pulling back. I don't really want to do anything with the euro. Cable's recovering just a little bit, but I still think this isn't a flag. Today is a consolidation day, and I'm just not excited about anything. To be quite honest, it's just looking at everything going, I'm just not super excited. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I wish I had more for you. I think that you got to look to sell Aussies on rallies, personally. All right. Maybe the Kiwi too. Let's take a look at the Kiwi really quick. I mean, the Kiwi can't even get past, and create this double bottom. We have to really be careful about like the Kiwi. If we break 72.15, then it's like probably some serious downside. And then also, if we break 77 cents in the Aussie, then that's it, for now. These bounces are really shallow. And considering the fact that the Dow's up, up 600 points, S&P's up 2%, the fact that the Aussie and the Kiwi aren't bouncing much. I mean, they're bouncing, but I don't know. I don't think it's that much. All right, guys. Raj asked if we could look at the loonie really quick. Yeah, let's take a real quick look at the loonie. Just looking at the loonie, we have this, what I think might be an inverted head and shoulder pattern. I would like to see us, slump back towards the 126 level. I just don't know if we're going to get it. We're just holding a 38% retracement, very shallow retracement. So remember, above 127.50, it's bullish. No matter how you slice it. So I think the loonie is actually holding up really well, considering. I think that the sell-off below 125 on last week was like a shakeout of longs. So I'm expecting eventually a breakout above 127.50. The question is, how far are we going to dip before we, make another run for it? And I think it could be as low as 126, but it hasn't pulled back much based on where stocks are at. So anyway, all right, guys, have a great one. And thank you so much, all of you, for your support, as always. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.